I'd like to bring this journey in my brief as my time clock works out, that I began my doctoral work as a chair in Sweden. And my professor was very keen, whatever I did, I need to get the groundwork in theory and then apply. So back in 1984, when I started, uh, it was, can we do something to improve the electronic medical record in the ambulatory side? It was very early, very little work. Most activity was in the hospitals. Then not only was to get the theory about it, but be able to confirm what was the commonality that allowed us to move these systems from where we designed it to where we land with it. So at that time, we were watching with great interest the LDS hospital health system, which was a hospital information system that originated in Utah, and they were trying to migrate it in Germany with a lot of remorse. And I'm being very polite. So that was a big beginning. I worked with it, and I worked on the fact that we took the theory and we did the ability to not embed the business principles of the organization, but create an application with that theory we had that could be distributed to anywhere in the world. And I had very fascinating experience in rural Rajasthan, where we had solar-powered clinics that used it, and that is 1988. It's long ago. But not so long ago, too, if you look at the fact. That was not sponsored research, but in every job I've had after that, I have worked with industry in sponsored research. But it comes with a big constraint. The constraint is you can't fail. And frankly, I have a simple saying, hardware comes out working, software will one day work, but it is the manware and the adoption which will fail every time. And I want to emphasize that's the kind of research that the vendors would take back and work with the team, as he just shared with you all, that would iron out the kinks. While it's true in academia, we take the problem to be very small and do research around it, the fact is it can be expanded, and if that vision of the vendor stays with the academic environment, it will be great. I personally had the privilege of learning a lot about ardent syntax when my professor in Sweden was one of the early professors who went and conceived the concept of ardent syntax. When I was working in a hospital, a large hospital, our vendor enabled us to give ardent syntax for decision support. It made the data that we were capturing actionable, and that actionable value is paramount. I also had the privilege of working with the theories of video conferencing, telecommunication, everything together. And we were able to bind the system in 1994 that allowed us to get a telemedicine prize from the National Information Infrastructure in the United States. And the only thing I can say, the value out of that was it was a dinner with Gore, nothing more. Coming to the present, I would like to take the research community to think. Our end users are changing from those dedicated computer scientists like clinicians to those not so friendly clinicians, now to the patients. And I just wanted to share with you, I'm working with a group that's right now allows me to monitor my mother's blood pressure. She's in Hyderabad and I'm in Orlando. Every day she plugs herself in and I'll get the data in Orlando. We use it in 1,000 homes that we call critical patients for diseases like heart failure, hypertension, diabetes. This is not a commercial break for that, but I want to tell you, the lights came out, so I had to react. But the fact is, maybe the lights is a message from Ted to say, I'm just hit past my 6 minutes, so I'll stop. More when you ask questions.